new generations that starting those careers now, okay?
Yeah.
They live in completely different reality. So if a job they're being pushed into old industrial way of working, all these waterfall models, all
Right.
this
Right.
long-term planning and training and stuff, we're losing
Yes.
this young bright generation. So we're gonna go with there. We need technology that understands people better than
Right.
people understand
That's right.
themselves.
That's right. Irene, we spoke years and years ago. We were all talking about the consumerization of IT, but at some point, IT said, "Hey, we're not up for that," and it sort of died out. Right. Well, the problem is the consumers are still into it, right? And that younger generation, they're not tolerant of this stuff. If it doesn't understand how you work, if it's not as simple to operate as a typical mobile app running on their phone, it just won't happen. And there is, it's odd because we were raised in a generation where we understood that this was complicated. We have to figure it out. We must read the manuals. We must go to class. It's over our heads, and we're just going to have to deal with it, right? There's no such expectation in younger generations. And that really is the bar. And by the way, the answer is not to make them conform, because our organizations operate at huge disadvantage because we were willing to deal with poor tech, right? Tech that doesn't understand us, that we have to figure out how to understand. When we think about all of those vast numbers of people, so many businesses have large numbers of low tech people who have to deal with high tech IT nonsense. That has to stop, because the cost of changing employees, the cost of them moving from one part of the business to the other, all of those things, changing any of that stuff, such a human labor effort. The way that the younger generations think is, that's all nonsense. I'm not willing to do that. We meet that bar, and our organizations are actually better for it.
Exactly. And again, what I understand talking to brilliant leaders on my show here is that machines are getting smarter,
Right.
right? People will have to get smarter.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Whatever it means, right? Breaking
That's
out
right.
silos, right? Stepping out of very comfortable hierarchical way of working.
Yes. Doing the same
Continue
rote
that
task.
trail, please. Yes.
That just doing the same rote set of tasks over and over again is no longer going to be a job. That is going to be the teaching of a machine to do that job, right? We do not need human capacity involved in things that are easily repeatable and even decisions that are easily made. We need people who are capable of creativity, planning, resourcewulness. There are a number of skills that are never going to go away.
Empathy. How about empathy?
Empathy, fantastic. And those skills, we'll need so much of that, even more than we even have right now. So humans will have to evolve to a better place, and right. But the good news is we will not have to be essentially digging ditches with a spoon, which is what it feels like so often we do in a business these days, right? It's we don't even use decent tools, right? When you think about the way that the Industrial Revolution has made the physical labor so much easier to accomplish significant amount, we're in the computer industry, let's face it, we're still behind in terms of that type of evolution. The number of people required to get a job done inside the business is still too high. So that number comes down. Machines do more of the work. The machine knows the steps, knows the rules, knows how to talk to everybody else about it, systems and people. And when that occurs, that part of our lives is much simpler. What do we have to do? We have to now have more creative thinking, more insightful understanding, more empathy. And the way that one chief financial officer of a huge bank described this to me, and it was brilliant, exactly right. He said, my organization right now today is 80% of its time doing things and 20% of its time thinking. Transformation for me is 80% of my people's time thinking and 20% doing. And that is a fantastic encapsulation of what machines are supposed to do for us, right? His goal is not half the people in his org. His goal is transforming the activities they perform to more thinking. And by thinking, he means empathy, creativity, planning, finding new paths, right? Those are things we can do and add tremendous value. Let the machines do the rest.